want your puppies to get used to being handled by the vet, by you guys, by the groomer, by people who come into your home. We don't want them to have any areas of their body that they don't want you to go near. So what we're going to do is play a game called Scooby Says. Very much like Simon Says, only I'm going to direct you to touch various parts of your puppy's body. The trick is, when you do it, I want you to give them a treat at the exact same time. So if I say, Scooby Says, look in your puppy's ear, you're going to look in your puppy's ear and give him or her a treat at the exact same time. The idea behind this is it gets your puppies used to the idea that good things happen when people touch me. Not scary things, but good things. That way, whenever your puppy's out running in the mud, you're going to be able to wipe their paws off with no issues. Scooby Says, tug on your puppy's tail or their stub and give them a treat. Scooby Says, pick up one of your puppy's front paws, give it a very gentle squeeze, and give them a treat. And Scooby Says, do the same thing with one of your puppy's back paws and give them a treat. Scooby Says, look in your puppy's mouth and give him a treat. When you look in your puppy's mouth, a lot of people go and pull from the top. That kind of freaks some dogs out, so if your puppy's fighting you, just push from the bottom. This blocks their view so they can't see what the heck you're doing. If you push from the bottom, it's a lot less threatening to them. And Scooby Says, give your puppy a hug and give him a treat. If your puppy would ever get out of the house and start running for the road and there's a good Samaritan there who tries to catch your puppy, 9 times out of 10 they're going to grab for your puppy's collar because it's a good handle. You want your puppy to not turn around and bite the good Samaritan because they've handled the collar. So what you want to do is give your puppy's collar a tug and give your puppy a treat. Somebody touches my collar, good things happen. If you're sitting there watching television and your puppy's with you, handle your puppy in a very non-threatening manner. You can give them treats as you're doing it. Just get them used to being handled. Any kind of handling that your puppies are going to have done, you want to get them used to early on. It's going to make their lives a lot easier. Puppies were not born knowing how to walk on a leash, so we have to teach them. We're going to start out with something very basic called luring your puppy to walk. You use a lure to make them do what you want them to do. And all you do is you get your puppy on your right side or your left side. It does not matter. It's whatever's most comfortable for you. I would recommend, though, that everybody in the family choose the same side so that the puppy gets some consistency. Get your puppy next to you. Put the leash in the other hand. Treats are going to be in the hand on the same side as the puppy. And you're going to let your puppy see it, and you're going to let your puppy start walking with you. The command for that is walk, and you're going to lure them to walk. What you want to do is have the lure lead them. You don't want to physically pull them. You want them to follow the lure. So just hang on to the leash to direct them, but you don't want to yank. And that's all there is to luring your puppy to walk. For those of you with little dogs, or with dogs who don't respond to the regular treats. We do have some peanut butter spoons because it is very hard whenever they're that short to actually have to bend over with them. First thing that they tell you whenever you're talking about crate training is that you have to have a crate that's the right size. If you have a crate that's too big for your puppy, she could go in the back, do whatever she needs to do, come up front, and never be bothered by the fact that her den is soiled. Dogs instinctively do not want to soil their dens. Therefore, their crate becomes their den, and they're not going to want to soil it. As far as how long a puppy can hold their bladder when they're in the crate, there's a general rule of thumb that however many months old your puppy is, plus 1. So, for example, if you've got a 12-week-old puppy, your puppy's 3 months old, they can reasonably be expected to hold their bladder for 4 hours. Another thing is if you've got a lot of really big cushy blankets and things, you want to pull those out and maybe just put a towel or something in. Because cushy blankets are going to absorb any urine, so they're not going to really notice that things are kind of weird in there. Before you go anywhere, you take your puppies out so that they do have an empty bladder before you put them in the crate. You don't want to give them water right before they go in the crate because, again, you're filling them up and they're not going to have an opportunity to get rid of anything. So, whenever you're home, your dog's not going to be in the crate, obviously. What do you do with your puppy? You want to make sure that you keep an eye on your puppy. You want to limit where they can go so that you can see everything that they're doing. If you can see what they're doing, they can't sneak off behind the couch and have an accident. Puppies give you signals, but if you can't see your puppy, you can't see the signals. A lot of puppies will pace. Some of them will start panting. Some of them they yip a little bit. Every dog has a different signal. If you watch your puppy, you're going to pick up on what your puppy's signal is. Puppy's gone and they've had an accident in the living room. I want you to get a piece of newspaper, roll it up in a tube like this, hit yourself on the head with it. I wasn't watching my puppy. So what do you do if your puppy has an accident? Go and clean it up and go about your business. You take them over to it and yell at them and say, what did you do? Look at this. A lot of people say, my puppy knows what they did because they look like they're scared and they look like they're ashamed. Your puppy really doesn't know. Your puppy is reacting to your body language. Now, another question people have is, okay, how do I clean that up? You want to very thoroughly blot up anything that's there, pick up anything that's there that the dog has left, and then you want to make sure that you use an enzymatic cleaner on that area. You guys may go ahead and clean it up and nobody in the house smells anything. None of the humans do, but the dog may still smell that there's something in that area, and they may be tempted to go back and re-soil in that same area. If you use the enzymatic cleaner, it takes that out. And you can get that in any pet store, and it's just going to remove any odor that's going to draw the dog back to that area. Whenever your puppies do go outside and they actually go to the bathroom outside, make sure that you reward them, make sure that you praise them. It's the best thing that ever happened. If your puppy does something wrong, everyone is very quick to jump on it and correct whatever that problem is. However, what if your puppy is doing something right? You just want to remember that when you do catch your puppies doing something right, let them know that they've done something right. They're sitting at home while you're watching television and they're being quiet. That's a rewardable thing. I mean, they've done a wonderful thing. If they go outside and they go potty, that's something you should reward them for. So just make sure that you do let your puppies know when they're on the right path.